topic of this video is the Sparta reconnaissance tool. It's a good tool for a pen tester to learn how to use, as recon is one of the most important parts of the pen testing process, and that could be days of shifting through the various output files of the utilities and services you'll be running. Sparta consolidates this all into an intuitive and easy to use single GUI interface. The more advanced users can even change the running settings of the default services used by Sparta, such as Nmap and NICDO, or add more services for Sparta to use as well. So we're going to start off by launching Sparta through the application menu. The first step is to add a host right here. Now, you can either set a range of IP addresses using CIDR, a simple range, or a single IP address. Now, by default, Sparta runs all the various services and utilities in the configuration file at once. And if you want to remain more inconspicuous during your recon, you won't want this functionality activated. So, we're going to cancel out of this, exit the program, go to User, Share, Sparta, Config. I've already changed this in my configuration file, but what you want here, enable scheduler. Yours is true, set it to false. Save, exit. Now, we're going to go back into Sparta. And for this video, I'm just going to run it against one vulnerable VM. Since we're only using the one host, we don't need to run host discovery. Add the scope. Since we changed the configuration, the only thing that will run automatically are the base Nmap scans. Everything else you'll have to input manually. So, these are the first of the open ports that our Nmaps are showing. We right click on them. It shows a number of options we can use to further recon these various ports. For example, right with the NetBIOS SSN, we can do SMB enum. So that opens the utility, shows all the output in this tab. And for example, let's also try to enumerate the users. It's finished. Here's our output. And we're running only one host, but assuming you set a range, you'll have a number of these different hosts, and you can further just filter between the ports there by going this, clicking on the host you're interested in, clicking services, and it will bring up all the open services over here. And we can even further, and you can do all the same things you could do in the host tab. In the tools, it shows what we've already tried right in here. Another functionality of Sparta is it has a brute force section for passwords. Now, the really interesting part for here is the found usernames and passwords. You could run lists of usernames and passwords or just manually put one in. But with the found usernames, it will search through all the outputs you've already accumulated in the project for found usernames and passwords, and it will run them all against each other, and it might find valid accounts with their passwords, which is a very fast way to potentially find the usernames and passwords with what you've already found. Now, I mentioned earlier that you can more configure Sparta based on what you personally need or want for a particular test. This is just the base functionality. So we're just going to minimize this for the moment. And we're going to go back to the Sparta config file. So let's just say we wanted to look at the base nmap scans, which are right here. It runs in 5 stages with different ports chosen for each of the stages. Let's say we don't want to do stage 5. We could simply delete it. Or we can merge it with stage 4. Really, you can configure this to however you personally would like to see it. And then if we go further down, tool settings. These are the default tools used by Sparta: Nmap, Hydra, QtCapt. So if you want to add more tools, you'll put them in here with their paths. Here's your host actions and your port actions. Putting more commands in these sections will mean, when appropriate, when you click on an open port in Sparta, one of these options could pop up for you to easily just use the GUI to use your command for all sorts of different hosts, and it'll be a lot faster in the long run. So I'm not going to save this, and we are going to go back to our Sparta. Now, I don't have much time left for this video, so let's say that you want to save your work because you want to come back to it later. So you're going to go save as, we'll say demo desktop. Save the Sparta. Go to our desktop. See, here's the Sparta project file, and in here we have our tool outputs. For example, this is all the nmaps we've gathered through our demo project, and we can take these and use them just like any other nmap scan for whatever we want. We can even add more nmap scans not through the tool to our project. So where to go from here? You can further customize Sparta based on your individual need. Add more tools, change some of the commands, arguments, etc. And you can continue your reconnaissance. And then if you're done with all that, the next logical step is to move on to the exploitation phase. That's all for this video. I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching.